Welcome to Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by LineStar app. Here's your host, Casey Bubba and Scott Bogman.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Pre-Snap Podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar NFL. And most importantly, download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Everything you need in the palm of your hands to build your winning DFS lineups. Plus, on the last preview podcast, we went over some of the other things, the tools and tricks that you can find on that wonderful app and website to help you build some winning lineups. You can check me out on Twitter at BDentric, and my co-host, as always, on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. We went over week 8, the week that was, and boy, if there's ever been a week, we did a first look. If there's ever been a week where more stuff changed from Monday to Wednesday evening, I don't know what it has been. I mean, we've got guys going on COVID. We got, real bad off-field stuff with the Raiders. He gone. See you, Henry. We've got just so much. Immunized versus vaccinated Aaron Rodgers weirdness. It has been a crazy past couple days.
Yes, it's been a wild one, and the sad thing is I don't think we're done yet. So whatever we tell you guys on this show, grain of salt, people, because it just has that feel right now that it's going to be a bumpy one, a bumpy week, maybe a bumpy couple weeks. It looks like
we're in the chop for sure.
Yeah, we had this last year. They had a couple rough weeks, and then everybody got their stuff together. Like, hey, guys, let's go.
Last year, I remember Joe and I doing this show, and half the team would be out. Remember when the Broncos QB room all huddled together for whatever reason, and a wide receiver had to start for them, Kendall Hinton.
Yep.
So we're starting to get into that kind of territory of the year where flu season is upon us, which means COVID season is also upon us.
Yes, so. It's the sickness, as they say. Was that corn or disturb? Down with the sickness. That's what's happening right here. So
that's a lot of guys' status this week is they're down with the COVID.
Yes, down with the COVID. And so we'll get to that and all the fun stuff and things along with that. But we'll start with the betting and picks for the week, as usual, on your Wednesday. Week 9 action. 4 teams are on bye. But before we get there, I was kind of starting to run away with this, but Bogman put it together 8-7 against the spread. I was 6-9, and Boggs was 7-8 against on the totals. I was 6-9, so he creeped back in a little bit. So
yeah,
we're tightening.
We're getting better. Look, we're learning more about these teams as the week goes on, so it's gonna look a little better, hopefully. But it's been a wacky year for sure. I mean, who thought Magic Mike White was going to go crazy like he did? And that's our lead in too, because they are playing on Thursday night. That game becomes way more interesting.
Jets head into Indianapolis on Thursday Night Football. No T.Y. Hilton. You have Carson Wentz and company kind of blew it. They had their chance to have a big win against the Titans. You have the Jets coming in, Magic Mike throwing for over 400 yards. We talked about it on the preview show. Basically one of the fantasy gold mines last week. And can he replicate it? That's the question. Indianapolis is minus 10.5 point home favorites on Thursday night with a total of 46. Bogman, how do you see this one breaking down?
Man, I don't know if he can replicate it. That might have been a one-off, but I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to take the Jets in this game. I just think that this number is too big, specifically for what we have seen transpire on Thursday Night Football, right? Last week, I didn't think that the Packers had a chance going in, especially down their best offensive weapon in Devontae Adams, and they played the Cardinals real hard on the road. Now, that is different situations, of course, because the Packers are a good team. The Jets, I wouldn't say, are a good team, but Mike White looked good, and I think the bigger thing for me than him just looking good, them getting Michael Carter more involved overall is much, much bigger. And seeing him get 2 weeks in a row, a bunch of push in the receiving game is really, I think it opens up so much. Like, we don't know if Corey Davis is going to play in this game or not, but it opened up Barrios. It opened up Crowder. Tyler Kroft can get more involved. Like, I like the way that this offense looked with Mike White, and even more than Mike White and Michael Carter, the way the Jets responded to Mike White leading this team. I think was the most impressive thing out of everything. The comeback win, Mike White tweeting Tom Brady, sorry, I'm going to break all your records, all that stuff. Like, the guy does not lack for confidence. We'll say that. And I think the Colts are the better team. I do think they win this probably by a touchdown here, but the spread is too big. Double digits for this team. I don't know if I have that much confidence in the Colts to win by double digits. So I'm going to take the Jets. The number here at 46 kind of messes with me, but since it's Thursday night, let's roll with the over because that's more fun, right? That's in the over.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. It's tough because on paper the Colts should just run over them, but the Jets did show you something, and if anything, they're going to help keep that clock moving with the check down passes left and right there, because that ain't changing this week. I'll tell you that much. So that'll keep things interesting. I think there will be points of plenty. I like the over more than the spread, to be honest, but I'll take the Jets. I'll take the over, and I'm looking forward to our showdown podcast for you guys, because there's going to be a ton of ways to go in this game, a ton of ways, the way the Jets throw things around and let a lot of cheap options to you. So get ready to download and listen to that one as well. Denver at Dallas. Dallas minus 10, over under 49.5. We assume Dak is going to be back, but if not, Cooper Rush threw for over 400 yards on Sunday Night Football with the game-winning drive. You going Dallas? You going Denver?
I got to go Dallas in this one. And, look, Cooper Rush was very impressive, but I mean, if we're betting on Cooper Rush to repeat or Mike White to repeat,
yeah,
I don't know who I'd take. I think I would take Mike White. Cooper Rush has the better weapons, right? All he's got to do is kind of not screw up pretty much. But I just think Mike White has that swagger. I like watching that stuff. So I'm going to take Dallas here, though. Less because of how good Dallas is, and they're very, very good, but how bad Denver looked against Washington, and they were lucky that they played Washington, because they play many other teams. They play the Giants, they're losing. They play the Bears, they're losing, right? So they got lucky that they drew Washington at one of Washington's worst moments. I mean, Montez Sweat fractured his jaw in that game. Gibson was terrible. They only gave him 11 touches. They gave all three backs 11 touches. Terry McLaurin didn't look like he's 100%. That defense is banged up, and they didn't pass the ball all over them. So for that reason, I am going to take Dallas in this game. I'll say this, though. I'm more confident in the over than I am in Dallas, just because, Trayvon Diggs has a sprained ankle. Anthony Brown's already bad. I just think that this could go point for point. I just think Teddy really needs to be healthy. Is he going to be healthy in this game? No. I'm not sure. That's why I'm taking Dallas, but I like that over too.
Yeah, I'm with you again on this one. I'm going to be simpatico, because I like Dallas a lot. This offense, especially if Dak comes back at home against this Denver team that's just dreadful right now to me. I think they're going to put up a ton of points, which means the over is definitely in play. And I don't think Denver's offense can keep up for more than maybe 14 to 17 points. But Dallas will put up 30 plus, so it ain't going to matter. So give me Dallas, give me the over. I hope Dak comes back and just lights up the building on a Sunday morning to get our DFS started as well. Minnesota at Baltimore. Baltimore minus 6, over under 49.5. Now, it's not prime time, Cousins, so we might get good Kirk Cousins, Boggs, and Baltimore coming off a bye as well. So how do you break this one down?
I mean, I think we got to go with the most recent iteration of Kirk Cousins we saw, which is bad Kirk Cousins. So Baltimore also coming off the bye is going to make me go with Baltimore. They're at home. They're coming off the bye. 2 weeks to script for this game. 49.5 is tough, man. That's the tough end of this game for me. I'm going to roll with the under here. I think both these defenses are a little bit underrated. Bad corners for Minnesota, though, makes me kind of wishy-washy on that. But I like Baltimore more, minus a 6. But I'll also hit the under just because I think 49.5 is too much for these guys.
Well, now we get to have some fun, because I'm going to go with Minnesota on this one. I think it's going to be a bounce-back spot, because you mentioned those corners on Baltimore. You can throw. Cousins, I know he had a bad week, but get Jefferson involved, get Thielen involved, maybe get your running backs involved that have been tough. Conklin can be a play. Spread it out, make it happen. So I think Minnesota covers this game, keeps it close enough, and I like the over for that reason. If Minnesota covers, I think it's a little back and forth action. We get maybe high 20s, low 30s, little ball game here in Baltimore to get things going for us. Could be a fun game stack as well. Las Vegas at the New York Giants. Vegas minus 3 on the road, over under 46.5. Giants looked good against the Chiefs, but, weirdly enough, the Raiders might be better than the Chiefs.
I don't know. Is it even that weird?
Well, if you would have told me that at the beginning of the season, yes, but I guess right now, no. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. Beginning of the season, absolutely. I hate this game. I hate this game because I like both these teams. But I think here's the main difference to me in this game. Las Vegas, and I don't know how you match these teams up this week. Las Vegas coming off the bye, obviously distracted. They've got a lot of off-field issues, but the record is good for Vegas, 5-2. The Giants played on Monday night. How are you giving one team 14 days and one team 6? I don't understand that. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So because of that, I'm going to take Vegas on the road. 46.5, such a good damn number. I think at the end of the day, you can't trust either defense, so I'll go with the over.
This one's tricky. I'm going to go Vegas for sure. I like what they can do. Get another week to get the running backs healthy in that offense, and Carr's doing some good things. Maybe we'll get a healthy Waller as well. So I just don't think the Giants defense can keep up with this. But I think you can move the ball on the Raiders. We've seen Danny Dimes and company. A lot of it depends on who's healthy, for the Giants on offense. But I'll go with the Raiders and the over as well. It'll be the same on this one. But it's a tough one. It's not a pretty game, but I think Vegas walks in there and gets the job done yet again.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Atlanta at New Orleans. New Orleans -6 at home. Taysom Hill week. Over under 42. This could have been a great game. This is a tough one to pick, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's look, this is a rivalry game and you're down a quarterback, right? So we know that the Saints are better than the Falcons. I don't think that's in question. How much better are the Saints with a second or third string quarterback than the current iteration of the Falcons? But the Falcons also lost one of their best offensive weapons too, Calvin Ridley, taking a break from football for now. So I think I'm going to trust in the New Orleans defense, and I'm going to take them and the under in this game. You've mentioned it a couple times. New Orleans is a different team at home, much, much better team at home, I would say. And the under, just because we have a backup quarterback, the Falcons become fairly one-dimensional. It's not like Calvin Ridley isn't the biggest field stretcher or whatever, but he does represent a guy that you have to have covered probably by two people most of this game. So, I mean, you take him away, you put Cordell Patterson in there. Now you have a worse running back situation in Mike Davis getting most of the play there, which is not something I would have said before the season started, but here we are, week 9. So I'm going to take New Orleans, and I'm going to take the under in this game.
Yeah, we're going to be a little different here. I'm going to take Atlanta in this one because I just don't trust Taysom Hill to be able to separate. Honestly, if you told me Trevor Siemian was quarterback, I'd feel a little better about New Orleans, as weird as that sounds.
Are we 100% positive that Taysom Hill is the quarterback?
We are not. And that's part of the problem with doing these picks right now. Is like it's supposed to be Taysom Hill, but it could still be Siemian. That's the problem. If it was Siemian, I'd feel better about New Orleans, to be honest. But
I honestly, I feel like it's going to be Siemian. But
it should be. Be smarter if they wanted to. But, they want to play Hill if they can. They paid him the money. He's been drooling. Peyton's been drooling at this opportunity. So, but I'm going to take Atlanta in this one. I'm going to take the over because, yes, New Orleans defense can be good. But the fact that Atlanta's, got Cordell Patterson in the backfield out wide, moving guys around, you got Pitts all over the place. They can kind of mix things up. I'm not saying they're smart enough to do it right, but they can. And for that reason, I'm going to take the over as well. So give me Atlanta, give me the over in this one. Houston at Miami. Miami's -6.5. When we previewed this on Monday, they were -7. So the line's already changing. Over under 46. I still think it's crazy to think that my Dolphins are almost a touchdown favorite to anybody. But then again, it's Houston, baby. So what do you got on this one?
Oh God, I hate this so much. I'm going to take Miami. I have no trust in Houston. I think Houston's record, they're 4-4 against the spread. Miami is 2-5-1. So, I mean, maybe that will make you want to take Houston. Maybe you're going to be a masochist here and pick against your own team. I would understand that. The whole reason I'm doing this is because I just don't trust Davis Mills at all whatsoever. So not that I love what Miami has done with Tua. I think they're completely screwing with this kid way too much. I hope he gets on a different team next year and someone that just lets him uncork it, right?
Yes.
That's what I want to see. I wish Miami would do it, but they're just
not
willing to do it. So give me Miami and Give me the under. I hate these offenses. Miami and the under.
I'm taking Miami as well, and I got Miami's defense in my most of my fantasy leagues picked up this week. This is going to be a great review show on Monday. That's all I got to say. But yeah, we're going to go with Miami in this one because even though they haven't let Tua uncork the last few weeks, he's still moving the ball, putting points up against some pretty good teams. So I'll take that with a grain of salt. Now he gets a Houston defense you can definitely exploit. We saw Devontae Parker come back last week, and he was a shape. Like you could tell Tua was comfortable having his guy back. He was peppering him early and often, which could help open things up for Gesicki
and Waddle still had a bunch of targets too.
Yeah, so it's a big like they want to throw the ball. Say that much. They're not opening it up, but they're throwing it way more than they're running it. So that should still help them move the ball. And Houston's defense not good. I'm taking the over though, just for the fact we've seen Houston get garbage time points left and right, and with a low total, they could get like sneak in and get just enough to make this cover. So give me Miami, give me the over. Don't bet either side of this game. Buffalo at Jacksonville. Buffalo minus 14.5 road favorites, over under 48.5 Bugs.
Okay. This one, I'm just going to follow the trends. And the trends have been when
Urban Meyer stinks as a pro coach.
That is the biggest trend. But the trend as far as these big ass spreads go is that the team that's favored by a bunch of points wins and the game heads towards the under, because these games all turn out like 34-10. 35-3, something like that. So we just saw Jacksonville get their ass kicked coming off a bye week. I don't think it gets better against Buffalo, even if they're playing at home. So give me Buffalo and give me the under.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too cute here. I'm 100% with you. Give me Buffalo. Give me the under. The only way this game goes over to me is if Buffalo scores 49 points. So they're going to walk in there because A, they didn't dominate Miami like they wanted to. So I think it's going to be a little chip on the shoulder. B, they're gonna just Jackson was so bad, like insane. Like we thought last week after a bye week was the weak Bugs, and it was horrific against Seattle. So yeah, Buffalo under. We move on. AFC North, Cleveland at Cincinnati. Cincinnati coming off a ridiculous loss to the Jets. They're 2.5-point favorites. Over under 46.5. Bogman.
Yeah, look, for this game, I have to take the Bengals, and I can't believe I'm going to do it. You and I both picked Cleveland to win this division. We think they're the better team than Cincinnati overall, but they are beat to a pulp right now. Nick Chubb clearly was not 100% against Pittsburgh last week. Baker, obviously the same, not 100%. Jarvis Landry dropped so many passes. I can't believe he's 100% healthy. They're excusing OBJ from practice because now apparently out of nowhere, there's a bunch of animosity between him and Baker, which I don't understand. I think it's all on OBJ and his dad's side.
Dad, that stupid stuff his dad was putting out on trade deadline. Oh my God.
Dude. It is so damn annoying. I am so sick of it. I hate that kind of crap. So I'll take the Bengals. Give me the under 2 because what I saw from the Cleveland offense, just I have no faith in them putting up a ton of points, even after we saw Cincinnati just get drubbed by Magic Mike White and those guys. I think they're going to bow up and play better defense in this game. And we saw a classic, AFC North, AFC Central type of battle between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I think we're going to get the same here between Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Yeah, Cincinnati might have the best offense in the North. I'll say that much. So I'll take Cincinnati to cover for sure. I like them to win this game and potentially win by a touchdown. I don't know what Cleveland's doing. Like even last week when Chubb was back, I know he might not have been 100%. They still kind of didn't focus on Chubb like you should have potentially. So that was weird. Very, very weird. I'm going to go with the under with you as well. I just have a weird feeling. We've seen these two teams play last year, and they were in shootouts. And I know Baker's a mess, but maybe another week of Jarvis coming back. I'm going to take the under, but I'm hoping somebody pops off in this game. New England at Carolina. New England minus 3.5. Over under of 4. A lot of low unders. We talked about this on Monday. A lot of low over unders this week. This one's 41. Bogman. We going. And Sam Darnold looks to be out, and so does CMC's out again. He's eligible to come back. He'll be out again. So it's going to be a rough one for Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, and for that reason, I'm going to take New England. This feels like a trap, though, right?
After
this feels. Week. Remember how New England was at home against Houston, and Houston beat the spread in that game. That is what this feels like here. It feels like one of those, where you have no respect for Carolina without Sam Darnold. But how much worse has PJ Walker than Sam Darnold been this year? I don't know if he's that much worse. I'm saying all this. I'm still taking New England. I can't trust Carolina as far as I can throw them. Their defense plays real well. The over-under is trickier for me in this game, even though it's so low at 41 points. Ugh. I'm going to take the under. I don't trust Carolina's offense to do anything. I think their defense plays well. Also, this feels like a 14-10 game to me. So give me New England and give me the under.
Yeah, I'll take New England in the under as well. I think New England wins this pretty comfortably. It could even be like a 21-17 game, and the game still goes under. Like, I don't see a massive amount of points because Carolina, I just don't see scoring a ton, and New England will kind of control the pace of the game. I think it's a big Harris game was on the ground again. So give me New England, give me the under, and they're starting to look good. It's not like sexy and flashy like it's been in years past, but New England's putting good football games together again, which is another tip of the cap to Bill Belichick. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Chargers at Philadelphia. Chargers -1.5 on the road after that big loss against New England at home off a bye. Totals 50, Bogman.
Yeah, look, I know that Philly has a little momentum and they're playing at home. Chargers have to go all the way across country. They just look bad coming off a bye against New England. I just think that the level of team between Philly playing Detroit and Philly, the Chargers playing New England is different. I'm going to take the Chargers on the road here. I'm also going to take the under in this game because while Philly beat the crap out of Detroit made so many mistakes on offense. You only put up 6 points against Philly. I think that's pathetic. The Chargers are going to do way, way better against them. So give me the Chargers and give me the under. I just have no trust in Jalen Hurts, and Philly doesn't either. They didn't want him to throw the ball last week. I know the Chargers have the worst run D in the NFL, all that stuff. So Philly's going to run against them. That lends towards the under, though. That burns clock real fast. So give me the Chargers. Give me the under.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of same picks, it feels like, this week. So I'm taking Chargers in the under as well. Like, I'm tempted to go over, but I think it's one of those where the Chargers do their thing and their defense keeps Hurts in check because Hurts is not that good. So, and I think the Chargers make a statement here and get the W on the road. So give me Chargers, give me the under. Good bounce back spot for LA. Arizona at San Francisco. Arizona -1.5, over under 45.5. Kyler Murray is not practicing where they said he doesn't have to. He can still play. I think he plays, but he's banged up. So keep that in mind. You still going with Arizona on the road, or are you thinking, we saw a new revelation with the Niners last week?
I mean, I don't think we saw anything new with the Niners. They played a good game.
They played the Bears.
Yeah, they played the Bears, who couldn't get rid of the ball. So I'm gonna take Arizona here. Let's also remember they get extra rest in this game because they played on Thursday. So I'm gonna take the Cardinals on the road. I hate this over under. I run away from it. But I don't trust either defense, so I'm going to take the Cards and the over.
Yeah, it's a tough game. Tough game because Arizona, if everyone's healthy, would blow the doors off of them, I think. I still think they get the job done, though. So give me Arizona in this one because I just don't trust the Niners at all. I don't trust them at all. But give me the over. They let these teams like to shoot it out. So give me Arizona, give me the over. Another kind of game this week. Talk about games this week. When we previewed Green Bay, Kansas City on Monday, we were pumped for this game.
Yeah.
Now Rodgers
I was pumped for it, Bubba, because it was Kansas City by 2.5. And I was like, how the hell are they getting points? They look miserable.
What's pretty impressive?
Jordan Love,
Aaron Rodgers is apparently worth 5 points. That tells you a lot about this Green Bay team because Kansas City's -7.5 now because we found out today immunized is not the same as vaccinated. So that's good to know. But hey, if he really was John Wick would never get COVID. Just realize that.
That's true. COVID would be afraid of John Wick.
Yes, COVID would be afraid of John Wick. Over under 48, Bogman. Are you jumping KC over a touchdown? I know it's love, but KC's been bad.
KC this year. Why don't
they don't cover the spread? They don't cover.
Why don't you say 8 games? What do you think the record is? 2-6.
Okay, I knew it's bad. I bet against them pretty much every week, and I think I think it's like 2 weeks I haven't, and it's when they covered probably.
One team is worse than Kansas City against the spread. Do you know who it is?
One team. Is it a good team?
No.
Okay, then give me the Texans. No, they've covered more than that. Give me the Jets.
Washington football team.
That was my third guess. Darn it. That was the one. I knew it was one of these three.
I'm going to take Green Bay. I'm going to take Green Bay. I don't think Kansas City is really in the spot to beat too many teams by 7.5. Last week I picked against Green Bay without Devontae Adams. Of course, it was a different situation. They're playing an undefeated team on short rest on the road, and they still came out in that game. Look, Jordan Love, he got all first-team reps the whole offseason when Aaron Rodgers was dicking around doing whatever. So I think that they're not going to have to pare back this offense for him. They're not going to have to simplify it. They're not going to have to change too much of what they do. So I'm going to take Green Bay, and I'm going to take the over because I don't trust either one of these defenses.
You're a smart man, Bogman. I'm taking Green Bay as well because a couple things. Devontae Adams, I don't care who your quarterback is, just fine. Like I can't remember who tweeted it out. They retweeted it today from a preseason tweet when they didn't know if Rodgers would be in and showed all of his games without Aaron Rodgers. He was quarterback 12 in PPR formats. So he's still fine. The other thing we're going to see, a lot of checkdowns Aaron Jones and a whole lot of A.J. Dillon because it works and Kansas City can't stop it. So we're going to see a lot of that, a lot of clock management. They're going to cover. I'm going under.
Okay.
Under in this one. We saw Green Bay's defense bow up last week in Arizona. I see them doing just enough to keep this interesting. Green Bay under, not the game we were hoping for. Sunday Night Football, Tennessee heads into L.A. to face the Rams at the SoFi Stadium. Rams minus 7.5, over under 53.5. Bogman.
Give me the Rams. Look, I hate trusting the Rams because I feel like the Rams let me down so many times. They're 4-4 though. They're 4-4 against the spread. Tennessee actually really good, 6-2. But you lose your best player, and not only your best player, the person that your entire offense is built around. And I appreciate them bringing in Adrian Martinez. I get it. Adrian Martinez, quarterback of Nebraska. Adrian Peterson. I appreciate them bringing him in because it says to me, we want to keep this offense the same. But I think in this game in particular, you're not going to be able to keep it the same. And that is a bad matchup. Plus we get Von Miller with the Rams this week. That's going to be very, very interesting to see. Joseph Day should be back. Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and Von Miller in that front four is dangerous. So I'm going to take the Rams in this game. I'm also going to take the under because 53.5 is too many points. I think Sunday night is the one game that has gotten away from us a couple times. Don't think that's going to happen in this game. I don't think it's going to be over at halftime or anything, but I do think that the Rams can cover 7.5 at home. So give me the Rams and the under.
Give me the Tennessee Titans.
Rolling
into LA. They got, got Peterson. You got a passing game. AJ Brown's a beast. I know he's got a tough defense. I get it. There's weapons there to be had, and Tannehill can make some things happen. So give me Tennessee in this one and give me the over. It's going to be a shootout. Tennessee covers, keeps it within a touchdown. Rams win, but Tennessee gets it done. Tennessee and the over on Sunday Night Football. Let's head to Monday night. Bogman might be the only person watching this game. Chicago at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 6.5, over under of 40.
Yeah, give me the Steelers and the under in this game. We just saw the Steelers play the Browns to a 15-10 game. They're doing it with defense, and the defense is, I wouldn't sit here and call it super healthy, but they looked very, very strong against Cleveland. Chicago isn't as beat up as Cleveland, but they're beat up. They're down. They're starting running back David Montgomery, so they're still going with Khalil Herbert, who has been good, but I just think of Justin Fields trying to deal with TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, and I don't know how he gets it done. So he might break off a couple and run up the middle. Hopefully they're going to spy with Devin Bush because he's super, super fast and he's not really good at anything else. So I would love to see him do that. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh in the under. I don't know how the Bears are going to score many points on offense, and we know the Steelers have a real hard time scoring points on offense. So Steelers in the under for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet this game with your money, Bogman, but what I'm going to say is I'll take Chicago getting nearly a touchdown in this game because, like you said, I don't see Pittsburgh's offense doing anything either. So it's a rough one. I'll take the under. This might be one of the worst Monday Night Football games ever. I hope I'm proved wrong. Prove me wrong. But this is a brutal one, and you guys get a first reaction when we recap and preview next week because it'll be right after that game ends. And Bogman's either going to be super happy or super angry.
That's right after the game too.
Keep that one in mind. But I'm going to go Chicago on the under, and if Chicago covers, well, we know who's going to be happy and who's not. So That's going to be pretty fun as well.
I don't care if Chicago covers. I will be happy if my
Pittsburgh
Steelers win.
Yes.
That's all I care about.
But we'll see how all that plays out. But most importantly, that wraps up all 14 games in your week 9 action. It's going to be ugly. Lines are going to change before Sunday because there's going to be more news that comes out. It's just going to happen. So buckle up, get ready, and download the app, the LineStar app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, because there's a chat room in there that keeps you updated on all the good, fun stuff and things. Plus, as things change, projections change, the app will take care of you along those ways as well. Check out the LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar NFL, Bogman at Bogman Sports. I'm at BD Entrick. Look for us on the Showdown Show and your Week 9 DFS preview later this week. But for now, catch you guys later.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by LineStar app. Please like, comment, subscribe, and rate for good karma in your fantasy football games.